Man, the only thing that's more exciting than the crossover with the debut of LeBron, Jayson Tatum, and them guys was what happened in UFC last night. Now, I'm not a big UFC person at all, but this one right here, you can't ignore. So, Kamaru Usman, who's been on a 15-fight winning streak, we haven't seen anything like this since Anderson Silva, who a lot of people, consider the GOAT. But, so apparently him and Usman and Edwards was title fight, 5th round. It feels like a storybook movie type ending here where Edwards was about to lose. He already lost 3 rounds already. He was just barely hanging in there. It was, to my understanding, 4 minutes already into the round. And he caught him. He caught Usman with a kick to the face. Knocked him out. Ball game. It's like this is crazy. Like, people are going nuts over this, saying this was like the greatest comeback in UFC history, top 5 greatest title fight, just everything. This one means something. Apparently Usman was one went away for tying Anderson's streak of 16 straight title wins. And so I guess, to have, just in general, to have an ending like that, where if it feels like a movie, something that's box office, something out of a script, and it happened in real life. Yeah, that's one of those moments where you want to soak in it and enjoy. Because trust me, that does not happen every day. And I believe majority of you all know that. So yeah, congrats to Leon Edwards for winning the title. Everybody was in disbelief. Man, that's wild. That's wild. All right, shifting gears here to the crossover. So, this is a Seattle-based pro-am, brought to you by Jamal Crawford, Seattle legend, NBA 6-man legend, former Bull, former Hawk, former Knick, former Clipper, former whomever. Man, Jamal Crawford was cold-blooded in the league at one point. He was cold-blooded. But the man's from Seattle, and so for the past few years, he's been having this pro-am here. Since Seattle doesn't have a basketball team anymore, this is probably the next best thing for them. And it's usually always a great turnout. So this year, the NBA players that has been playing in it, from what I know already, newly acquired Hawks DeJounte Murray, number 1 overall pick in this past draft, Paolo Banchero. That's how we got that beef going about a month ago. It actually looked like they kind of squashed that beef on an incident where DeJounte was guarding Banchero and he fell, and DeJounte picked him up, acknowledged them, blah blah blah. It was a good moment. Also, Chet Holmgren, who I believe is from that area as well, the 2nd overall pick in this past draft. He's in that league. I feel like I'm missing a couple of players, but LeBron and Jayson Tatum made their debuts, I think, on the same team yesterday. Of course, the place went nuts. Jayson Tatum couldn't miss. Apparently, the game was called in the second quarter. And I don't know any other stats besides Jayson Tatum having 20 points, but there's a video of LeBron walking in, place going bananas. like I said before, like this stuff like this is just great to see for me. Like guys out here, playing because they love the game. It's not about a paycheck. It's not about endorsement deals. They're just out here hooping because that's what they enjoy doing. And also, it was an NBA player that said this. It might have been Kobe. But I think it was DeJounte Murray as well. It's like play in these type of events because more than likely the people that's coming to watch will not have an opportunity to watch them in the NBA because of how expensive it is. So, I mean, if I was a kid their age and I was able to see NBA players like this in the summertime in the off season, like basically for free or, minimum money, and I don't have the ability to go to an NBA game, man, that would be a memory I wouldn't forget at all. At all. So yeah, I appreciate, guys doing what they love to do outside of the professional league where they're getting paid from. They just playing just to play. Like, that's dope to me. Because these guys don't have to do it, but they do it because they want to. It's something about that for me that's just like, okay, this means more to you than this contract. This means more to you than, there's marketing, there's endorsement, these agents, all this other stuff. Like, I feel like if you out here hooping in just some random league, then you probably still waking up dribbling a basketball at the side of your bed. That's what I used to do. Basketball side of the bed, dribbling, working on my handles, but more so just because I love having the ball in my hand. I'm pretty sure maybe some of these guys still walk around the house with the ball in their hand. But nevertheless, guys showing out at the Crawsover in Seattle. Seattle is always, to me, a really good city for NBA. I think the only reason why they left because it was a arena deal that couldn't get done. Seattle needed a new arena. The city wasn't willing to pay for it. Therefore, unfortunately, relocated to Oklahoma City, and the rest is history. But, there is talk of expansion in the NBA between Seattle and Las Vegas joining the league. I hope so. Bring the Sonics back as one of the more iconic teams in league history. The Supersonics were everything to me growing up. And I'm a Chicago Bulls fan. When I was younger, it was the Bulls, the Magic, the Knicks, the Lakers, the Celtics, Seattle. Those six for me was about as iconic as it got. The Magic was more so of a new thing, but it felt right. Orlando was my second favorite team. Me watching Shaq and Penny. That can never be duplicated. As great as Kobe was, and Kobe was phenomenal. As great as Dwayne Wade was, and he was phenomenal. If you did not have the pleasure of watching Penny Hardaway before the injuries, like you missed something special as well. Penny was one of one at the time. Penny was everything. But yeah, shout out to Tatum, shout out to LeBron, Holmgren, Vancaro, Murray, whomever I'm missing here that plays in that Pro-Am. Shout out to all of you for making, these Pro-Ams that much special, especially in the Seattle area. So shout out to Jamal Crawford as well. All right, so the NFL is, this is week 2 of the preseason. We got one more week next week. And then after that, we are getting right into the regular season. I cannot wait. And so with me bringing that up, I am an avid DraftKings player. I haven't placed any bets here in a while. I've actually been waiting for week 1. But I might actually place some over-under bets when it comes to team win totals, like predicting how, like, the over-under on the wins, and just want to go through a couple here in case anybody's interested. All right, so this is DraftKings, by the way, like I said. All right, so they got the Saints at the over-under is 8.5. And as far as the Saints with Jameis Winston, Michael Thomas coming back, and the division that they're in, I could definitely see the over. I think the Saints can mess around and get 10 wins this year. So I'm taking the over. It's at minus 105. I would take the over there. The Rams, defending chance, they got it at 10.5. I take the over. The over is plus 105. I would take the over on the Rams. The Lions, they got it at 6.5. Now, I'm a fan of Hard Knocks this year. I know I'm a Bears fan, but I feel like I'm growing a small place in my little heart for this 2022 Detroit Lions team. I think the Lions are capable of the over at 6.5, which is minus 125. So I'm leaning towards that. My Bears, they got them at 6.5 as well. So schedule-wise, they have a chance to do so. The way they've been playing in preseason, just schematically, they actually look decent. That one is tougher. I'm going to think about that a little more, but I am starting to lean towards the over, which is 150. I actually have more confidence in this Bears team this year than last year, even though last year had a little bit more talent, but this year they actually play harder. They play for one another. They buying into Matt Eberflus. You can tell a difference. So I'm leaning towards that. The Colts, they got it right at 10. Over under 10. I mean, the Colts to me should at least get 5 wins in their division in the AFC South. I mean, Colts are a solid team all the way around. I'm leaning towards the over. 10 is like right there. We're going to come back to that one. New York Jets. Over under 5.5. Ew. I'm going to say under. I don't see it. I could be wrong, but I don't see it. And under is plus 130. Steelers. 7.5. Over under. I'm taking over. Mike Tomlin has never had a losing season as head coach. I feel like this team is overlooked in the AFC North. They have plenty of depth at wide receiver, workhorse at running back. Defense is still solid. Coaching is still really good. Quarterback play won't have to do too much. They're actually mobile too. They can actually extend plays. I'm taking over, which is 100. Jacksonville, over under 6.5. On paper, I want to say over. But it is more so than playing the actual games. I'm going to come back to that one. They got Carolina, 6.5 wins. I'm going to say under, and that's 110, minus 110. Tennessee, they got a over under 9. I'm going to say under, which is minus 115. Seattle at 5.5 over under. Based on what I've seen and who's quarterbacking, it don't matter. Drew Lock or Geno Smith, I only towards the under, which is plus 105. They got New England over under 8.5. That's tough. Vegas is good for that one. That one is tough. The Patriots are like middle of the road mediocrity. It's like some games they should lose, they win. Some games we think they win, they end up losing. Boy. I'm going to take the over, which is minus 120. Dallas, over under 10. I'm taking the under. I do not believe in this team this year. I don't. I feel like they don't have enough weapons. I feel like defense actually took a step back. They still got Mike McCarthy coaching. I don't like it. All right, I'm taking the under. That's minus 110. The Giants, over under 7. 7 is a good number. I'm going to take the under. But, man, I feel like 7 is the right number. That's minus 110. Bills, 11.5. I think they barely get there. I think they get 12 wins this year. That's minus 140. Cincinnati, over under 10. I think 10 is the number. I think 10 is the number. I'm not touching that bet. Kansas City, over under 10.5. I think, oh boy, I think 11 is the number. So I'm taking the over, but that's barely. Hey, man, some of these are good. Some of these are really good. Commanders, the Washington Commanders and Commander Carson, over under 8. Right now, I'm going to just take the under. I think they get 7. That's minus 120. Raiders, 8.5. I'm taking over. That's minus 130. Browns, 8.5. With Deshaun Watson out the first 11 games, I know their first 6 games they should go at least 3-3, but it gets brutal after that. 8.5. I'm gonna take the under. Minus 140. Falcons, over under 5. I'm taking the under. That's minus 145. Texans, over under 4.5. I'm taking the under. That's minus 120. Cardinals, over under 8.5. I'm taking the under. I don't believe in them this year. That's minus 110. Packers, over under 11. I'm taking the under. Minus 110. Dolphins, over under 9. You know what? I think the Dolphins, I think more so Tua surprises people. I'm taking over. I think they get 10. Broncos, over under 10. I think 10 is the magic number. I'm not touching that. Chargers, over under 10. I want to say over. I do. I think they get 11. I'm taking over. Minus 140. Niners, over under 10. This is tough. But I'm going to take the under. I think they get 9. That's minus 110. Eagles, over under 9.5. I'm taking over. That's minus 150. And the Vikings, over under 9. I think they take the over. Yeah, I see them can win 10 or 11 games. I'm taking over. That's minus 130. So So yeah, there you have it with these over under on win totals this upcoming year. I think this season is going to be pretty exciting. I think there's going to be a lot of surprises. I don't think it's going to be a chalk type outcome this year. I really don't. But that's why you play to win a game, right? That's what Herm Edwards said. But all right, y'all. That's my time for today. Continue to rock with your boy right here on the No Offense Radio on the No Offense Network. Follow me on social media at JGoodWithSports, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Check me out on my podcast, the Early Morning Sports Talk Podcast on Saturday mornings. The Destination Fantasy Podcast on Sunday mornings. Both live on Facebook. But nevertheless, you all have a great one. Enjoy your day. I'll get back at you soon. Until next time. Peace.